Hello friends, in the last session we learned about the Dockerfile CMD instruction. Now friends, in this session let us see another important Dockerfile instruction, which is Dockerfile ENTRYPOINT Instruction. So friends, ENTRYPOINT instruction, just like CMD instruction, is also one of the way of executing the commands at container launch time. But friends, in addition to this, there are few benefits which ENTRYPOINT instruction provides over the CMD instruction. And because of these extra benefits of entry point instruction over CMD instruction, the entry point instruction is preferred more than the CMD instruction for executing the commands at container launch time. So friends, let us now understand the benefits of using the entry point over CMD instruction by seeing the differences between these two instructions. So friends, the executable commands which are specified in Docker run command cannot override the entry point instruction, wherein, as we saw in the case of CMD instruction, the executable commands which are specified in Docker run command overrides the CMD instruction. And friends, the good part with entry point instruction, which makes it more better than the CMD instruction, is that if any executable command is passed to the end of the Docker run command, then it is treated as an argument to the entry point instruction. So now friends, let us see the demo on the entry point instruction. So let me show you the Docker file first, which I have created in a directory named entry point inside G drive of my system. So here we can see friends, the Docker file contains only 5 lines, and again it is a very simple Docker file. In fact, it is same as the one which we used for the CMD instruction demo. The only thing which is changed here in this Docker file is the comment line at the top, which we made as Dockerfile for entry point demo. So now friends, let us replace the CMD keyword with entry point keyword over here, and also let us remove the arguments from the echo command, as now in case of entry point instruction we are going to pass the argument to this echo command from the docker run command. And here with this friends, the Docker file for entry point instruction is ready now. So let us create an image from this Docker file. So let us go to the command line terminal now. And here let us change the directory location to the entry point Docker file location. So cd g:\docker files and then entry point. And now friends, let us trigger a docker build command. So docker build -t. And here let us give the image identification as entry image1. And then finally we need to specify the dot symbol. And now friends, let us press enter to execute this command. And with this here we can see friends that the docker image got built successfully. So now let us run the docker container from this image using the docker run command. So docker run --name. And here let us give the container name as entrycon1, and then the image name, which is entry img1 in our case. And now friends, this time we need to pass the arguments for the echo command which is inside the entry point instruction in our Docker file. So let us pass the argument to the echo command as hello, welcome to the entry point instruction. And here friends, with this the docker run command is ready now. So let us execute this command by pressing enter key. And here we can see friends, the output of this container's execution displayed a message as hello, welcome to the entry point instruction. So friends, this means that the string or text which we passed at the end of docker run command is treated as an argument to the entry point instruction. Now friends, let us execute the docker run command again, but this time let us change the arguments to the bash shell. And also friends, let us run this container in interactive mode by passing the -i and -t options. So let us make these changes in the previous docker run command. So here let us remove this argument and let us pass /bin/bash as an argument. And now let us also put the -i and -t options to run this container in interactive mode. And then finally let us change the container name from entrycon1 to entrycon2. So with these changes, the docker run command is ready now. And friends, ideally this docker run command should run this container in interactive mode. That is, on executing this docker run command, we should be taken inside the docker container and should get the bash shell of the container where the Linux commands can be executed. So let us check this whether this container runs in interactive mode or not. So let us press enter to execute this command. And here we can see friends that this command did not run the container in interactive mode as we were expecting, but instead it gave us the output as the message /bin/bash. So friends, now could any one of you guess why this docker run command did not run the container in interactive mode? And if you are saying that this is because of the entry point instruction, then you are correct friends. So friends, as now we are using the entry point instruction in our Docker file. So here the command /bin/bash, which is passed to the end of docker run command, is not treated as an executable command, but instead it is treated as an argument to the echo command of the entry point instruction. And this is the reason friends why we got the output as message /bin/bash instead of getting the container's interactive session. So friends, till now we have seen the entry point instruction with echo command. So now let us see the entry point instruction for running the Nginx server as we did in case of CMD instruction. So for showing this demo, I have created a folder with name entrypoint2 in my system, and also copied there one of the Docker file which we used earlier to start the Nginx server using CMD instruction. So let us go to the entrypoint2 folder and let us open the Docker file. And here we can see friends that we are installing the Nginx server in line number 4 in this Docker file, and then running the Nginx server in the last line using the Dockerfile CMD instruction. So now friends, let us again replace this CMD keyword with entry point keyword over here. And also let us remove these arguments from here, as now in case of entry point instruction, we are going to pass these arguments using docker run command. So friends, with these changes, the Docker file to start Nginx server using entry point instruction is ready now. So let us build the image from this Docker file. So let us go to the command line terminal again. And then here let us go to the Docker file location, which is g:\docker files, and then entry point 2. And now here friends, let us trigger a docker build command. So docker build -t, and this time let us give the image identification as entry img2, and then finally the dot symbol. And now let us press enter to execute this command. And with this, here we can see that the docker image got built successfully. So now let us run the docker container from this image. So docker run -p 80:80 and then --name, and let us give the container name as entry nginxcon, and then the image identification, which is entry image2 in our case. And now friends, we need to pass the arguments for the nginx command, which is given inside the entry point instruction in our docker file. So the arguments are -g and then the daemon of. So friends, with this the docker run command is ready now. So let us press enter to execute this command. And with this we can see here that the Nginx container got started successfully. So now let me press Ctrl C. So now let us see whether we are able to access this Nginx server or not. So let us go to the browser. And here friends, let us hit the Nginx server URL, which is 192.168.99.100:80. And here we can see friends the home page of Nginx server. So friends, with this, here in this session we have seen the Dockerfile entry point instruction, and then we saw how the entry point instruction is different from the CMD instruction, and then we also saw how we can pass the arguments to the entry point instruction at container runtime by passing the arguments inside the docker run command. So friends, with the flexibility of passing the arguments at container runtime makes entry point usage more preferable over the CMD instruction, as with this we can change the behavior of containers running from the same image on the basis of our need. And we can achieve this by passing different arguments at different time in the Docker container run command. So friends, with this, let us stop this session here and let us see the remaining stuff about the Dockerfile CMD and entry point instruction in the upcoming session. So see you in the next session. Till then, take care. Tata. Bye bye.